Welcome to itnotes.in. My name is Vishnu, helping you with your ICND 1 syllabus, right? It's actually funny because this is the second time that I'm recording. In the first time when I finished the complete course, and then when I opened the file for reviewing, the voice was all blurred. I was recording from my, the built-in speakers, a built-in microphone, so it was all blurred, and I couldn't hear myself properly. So this is the second time that I'm recording this video. Hopefully it would go nice. Okay. In this video, we'll be talking about two things mainly. The Cisco Certification Track, the overall certification, what's the validity of the certification, what you are going to achieve when you do the certification, stuff like that. How can you renew your certification, what the certification track is about, stuff like that. And then we'll be going into the new CCNA syllabus. We won't be getting into the details, but we'll be seeing how is it different from the older CCNA syllabus, and then you'll get an idea about what CCNA is all about, right? Only an idea. We had to get into the actual videos, into the details for getting to know what CCNA is. But anyway, let's get to the next slide, right? Cisco provides 4 levels of certification. Let me just take my pen. 4 levels of certification. There you go, 4. Okay, 4 levels of certification. The first level is the Cisco Certified Entry Level, CCENT, which is also known as ICND 1, right? The exam code for ICND 1 and CCENT is 100-101, 100-101, right? 100-101. This level of certification is for absolute beginners, right? If you don't know what a router is, if you don't know what a switch is, if you don't know the different types of cables, if you don't know anything about routing protocols, this is the course for you, right? A CCNT certified certificate is valid for 3 years, which means after 3 years you either need to renew or go with a higher level certification, right? So after your CCNT, you can go ahead and take your CCNA, right? CCNA is ICND Part 2. ICND 1 plus ICND 2 would get you your CCNA, right? The exam code for ICND 2 is 200-101. 200-101, right? Now, each of this certification as of today is $150. 150 into 2. 150 into 2. That would give you $300, right? Now, Cisco has another certification for CCNA, which is known as CCNA X. CCNA X, right? Now, this certification is for people who already know about networking, who knows what is being taught in CCNT, who knows about CCNA, the foundational networking level, foundations of networking. This course, this certificate, this exam is a combination of ICND 1 and ICND 2. They will test you on everything that is on ICND 1 and ICND 2. So this is more pressurizing, and the cost is $295. Okay. So that's only $5 difference, and the pressure that you'll be getting in this is much higher. So if you're a beginner, taking these two separate exams is what is recommended. Fine. So after your CCNA, you can go ahead and take your CCNP. Your CCNP is also valid for 3 years, after which you either have to renew or go with one of the higher level certification or the equivalent level certification. We'll talk about that later on. So according to Cisco, a professional level is an advanced level certification that shows more expertise with networking skills. Each certification covers a different technology to meet the needs of varying job roles, right? So according to me, okay, what I said right now is according to Cisco. Now, according to me, CCNP is like a bridge between CCNA and CCI. Let me just tell you why. We have our CCNA here, right? CCNA, and then we have our CCIE, right? Now, CCNP comes in between, right? Now, CCNP is like, okay, it is more advanced than CCNA. They take stuff from OSPF, they take stuff from IPv6, and we are covering it in more detailed. Okay, but compared to CCIE, CCNP provides an introduction to CCIE, right? So CCNP is it's like an introduction. Okay, fine. There's something called BGP. Okay, and we'll be learning about the first 10 ways for path manipulation, stuff like that, right? So CCNP is like an introduction for CCIE, and compared to CCNA, it is much more advanced. So without CCNP, jumping from CCNA to CCIE directly would be a tough case, right? First of all, prerequisites. I forgot to talk about the prerequisites. CCNT anybody can take. Okay, there is no you don't require any degree or anything like that. Anybody can take. The only thing is you need to get certified. You need to pass with Cisco saying that okay, you are able to handle Cisco devices. CCNA, that requires CCENT, right, as a prerequisite. CCNAX, okay, CCNAX. Oops, okay, CCNAX, that doesn't have any prerequisite. It's similar to CCENT, right? CCNP has a prerequisite of CCNA, and CCIE does not have any prerequisites, right? Now CCENT, CCNA, and CCNP has a validity of 3 years, right? And CCIE has a validity of 2 years. So you might be asking, I mean, come on, 3 years, that's not much. I mean, it's like, I take my certification today and within few years it will be expired. Come on. The reason why Cisco comes up with this is because technology is always changing. Okay, it's changing on every day. Okay, newer technologies is coming up, new inventions are coming up. So it is necessary for a network engineer to be updated, right? So Cisco says, okay, minimum 3 years you need to update your certificate, otherwise there's no point in telling that you're Cisco certified. Okay, when it comes to CCIE, it's more tough. Okay, you need to update it every 2 years, otherwise it's not valid, right? But don't worry, it's not as you don't need to recertify every single certification. I'll tell you about that in this slide. But before I do that, I want you to notice that we have several domains. That is CCNA voice, CCNA routing and switching, security. We have more as well. That is, we have wireless, we have service provider. But for this scenario, to explain how certification works, I have just put in three of the domains to show you how things are going to work, right? So okay, so first of all, there's a CCENT. Now this is a base. Okay, whichever domain you're going into, okay, voice, routing and switching, security, CCENT works as a base. Okay, this is the most basic certification. So if you're a person who's absolute beginner, this is where you need to start, right? So let's say that you get certified in with Cisco for CCENT, and you get a certificate which is valid for 3 years. Okay, so before your certificate expires, you need to either renew your certificate. Okay, okay, that's a star over there. Okay, you need to either renew your certificate or go ahead and take one of the specific specialized certificate, that is CCNAs or CCNPs. You can't take CCNPs, you need CCNA to take CCNP, or you can go directly for CCIE, right? Now when I go ahead and take my CCNA, I get a 3-year valid certificate on this, right? And automatically every certificate which is below that you have already taken would get renewed, right? So let's say that after CCNA routing and switching, you automatically get renewed CCENT, and again my certificate is about to expire, so I can go ahead and renew my CCNA routing and switching, and automatically my CCENT would get renewed. Otherwise, I can go ahead and take a new certification which is either higher or on the same level, that is CCNA security in my example. So you get a certificate which is valid for 3 years. Now when you do this, you automatically renew every certification which is on the same level, that is your CCNA routing and switching. If I can draw an arrow properly, okay, fine. CCNA routing and switching, and every certification which is lower would get renewed, right? Okay. So okay, fine. So right now in our story, you are CCNA security certified, and you have a certificate which is valid for 3 years. Now, as time passes, again CCNA security is about to expire. So you can either renew either CCNA routing and switching or CCNA security, and automatically all three would get renewed, right? So let's get one step higher, right? CCNP. Okay, so when your CCNA security is about to expire, you decide to go ahead and take your CCNP routing and switching. So again, this comes with 3 years validity, and automatically your CCNA routing and switching, CCNA security, and CCNT would get renewed. Every lower level certification would get renewed, right? It's the same thing when it comes to security. If I'm doing a CCNP security, automatically your CCNP routing and switching would get renewed. But let's say that after your CCNP routing and switching, again your certificate is about to expire. So you want to expand your knowledge. You don't want to just renew your certificate. You want to expand your knowledge. So you decide to go with CCNA voice, because CCNP security you don't have enough experience, so you don't want to go ahead and do CCNP security, so you decide to go ahead and do CCNA voice, right? So when you do this, you get a 3 years experience, 3-year valid certificate, right? Now when you do this, your CCNA routing and switching would get renewed, CCENT would get renewed, and CCNA security would get renewed, right? CCNP routing and switching will not get renewed because it's a higher level certification, right? So in this case, after you take your CCNA voice, do not forget to renew your CCNP routing and switching. For that year, you need to take 2 exams, one for CCNA voice and one for renewing your current CCNP routing and switching, right? Okay, so so that's what I wanted to tell you. By the way, okay, you might be thinking, okay, fine, these are higher level certifications, so when I take the highest level certification, automatically you will get automatically you get all the lower certification. Actually, that's not true. For example, let's say that CCNP requires CCNA as a prerequisite, but CCIE does not require any prerequisites, right? So anybody can go ahead and take. So let's say a person who's into networking for the past 20 years, 30 years, they eventually decide, okay, fine, it's about time that I get a certificate because everybody is running behind it. So I might as well go ahead and take a certificate, and they do not follow the track and then directly go ahead and take CCIE, right? Now, when they do this, they do not get CCNP voice, they do not get CCNA voice, they do not get a CCNT. They only get a CCIE voice, right? But obviously, that's a good thing. Okay, you don't need a lower level certification. When you go to an employer, say you have CCIE, they won't ask you whether you have CCENT. Right, so it doesn't matter. But eventually, what I'm trying to say is that higher level certification doesn't mean that you already possess the smaller level certification, right? I hope you understood all that. If you didn't, just leave a comment below, and I'll try to get to your queries. Okay, thank you. So let's get into the next slide. In this slide, I want to talk about the differences, comparing to the old CCNA syllabus. What is new in the new CCNA syllabus? Okay, fine. I understand that many of you might be new to networking, so and therefore might not understand many of the technologies that I'm talking here. But don't worry, we'll be getting into those later on. In ICND 1, we have more subnetting, right? We'll be covering a lot of subnetting. Okay, compared to ICND 1, the previous ICND 1, did not cover that much subnetting before, right? Right now it does cover a lot of subnetting, and there is more depth to the current ICND 1 syllabus, which means that a lot of new technologies we'll be talking about new technologies, not new technologies, technologies which were taught in CCNA syllabus has been pulled down to CCNT syllabus, right? There is more. It's more modern. The reason that it is more modern is because older protocol, which is RIP, routing information protocol, you can also say rest in peace. Okay, this protocol has been there for ages, right? Since the time routing was developed, I guess they have created RIP. and it has been outdated for a very long time, and then they released a version 2 again. Compared to the other routing protocols, even the newer RIP version does not stand a match, but still it does exist in the network today, because for smaller networks it's easy to configure, right? But Cisco says that okay, fine, it's about time to get rid of RIP, right? But for people who doesn't know about RIP, don't worry, RIP is very easy to configure. You'll be able to do it with your eyes closed. Okay, maybe not with your eyes closed, but still it's very easy to configure, right? So RIP has been replaced with OSPF, right? It is more futuristic, as in a lot of importance has been given to IPv6. Companies like Cisco, right? Their complete infrastructure has been transitioned to IPv6. Okay, they are not using IPv4 anymore. So slowly, since IPv4 is fading out, Cisco is telling, okay, fine. It's about time that all of you started learning about IPv6 because IPv6 is coming very soon. Don't get left behind, right? So you need to learn about IPv6. In the older ICND 1 syllabus, there was graphical user interface. But now Cisco says that, okay, graphical user interface is for people who doesn't know how to configure network devices. We programmed it so that, a person can just point and click, and get the job done. Okay, but when you get certified with Cisco, you need to know how to configure it via command line. And if you know how to configure it via command line, that's what you are going to choose, because command line is much easier to it's easier to configure via command line than graphical user interface, right? So Cisco has taken out graphical user interface, and they are not testing on wireless, voice, security, and other domains. The previous ICND 1 syllabus, they used to test on other domains as well. It wasn't in-depth knowledge, but they get to the basics of how other domains work. So right now they are not testing anymore, right? So these two are not there, right? Great. So in ICND 2, the first point is troubleshooting. Okay, there's more troubleshooting in the new ICND 2 syllabus. The reason is that Cisco says that a person who knows how to troubleshoot, who knows how to configure devices, will be able to configure a brand new device. But if a person is only trained for a brand new device, they might not be able to correct a problem which someone else has made, right? That's because from hundreds of commands, you need to figure out what is creating the problem. That's tougher to do than just putting in commands. So a lot of emphasis has been given to troubleshooting, and there's more switching, stuff like Ether channel. Okay, stuff like Ether channel has been put into the picture. Ether channel was used to be in the CCNP syllabus before. Now it has been pulled down to ICND 2. There is more of routing. Again, multi-area OSPF and OSPF version 3 used to be in the CCNP syllabus before. Right now it has been pulled down to CCNA. Okay, the fourth point, I wouldn't call it management, I would call it monitoring. But anyway, okay, let me just write that down. Okay, I should have corrected it, I guess. Okay, fine. There is more of monitoring. Fine. Okay, protocols like SNMP, syslog, NetFlow, these protocols are used by network engineers on a day-to-day basis. So Cisco says, okay, fine. Since your job does require you to know about monitoring, it is essential that you're tested on monitoring, right? Before the old CCNA syllabus, they never used to test you on monitoring, but right now it is an essential, right? And finally, there is iOS licensing. First of all, iOS is the Cisco's operating system. We'll be getting into that later on. That's where our complete Cisco relies on, right? All of Cisco's certification. Right, and we'll be talking about its licensing. We'll be talking about the different types of licenses and how to install them. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.